Hello, Steve at Steve's Auto Care here again, and we're going to talk about this unit here. We are working on a 2005 Nissan Altima, and we had a check engine light for EGR flow detected when no flow was required. And it's a common problem on these, and once you get the EGR valve out, it's not a fun thing to do, but you see this tiny piece of debris. You pull all these screws out, you can get to the plunger, push the plunger down, give it a couple of taps, and this piece of debris came out. This is actually from the catalytic converter on bank 1, which is the far cat, or the cat converter coming off the cylinder heads that are near the firewall. So Nissan has put out a technical service bulletin on this that says if you find this debris, this stuff here, which is from the substrate inside the catalytic converter, it runs up the exhaust tube right into here and gets caught on the valve plunger itself and holds the plunger open, and you'll get constant EGR flow. And they say that if you find this debris, to replace the cat converter. Now, I did a Borescope test, and let me run over here. I took a Borescope down into the let's do it like that. I took a Borescope down through the EGR tube and actually looked at the top of the cat converter substrate, and you can see here there were some imperfections right along the edges where the substrate attaches to the wall of the cat converter. I know it's not really good viewing, but the best I can do. You there? That's pieces of the substrate falling out and being sucked in through the EGR. So let me turn that off. So that's how that is caused. The code for this is P1402, and this car also had another code, P1800, and it's for the variable intake manifold air system, and that was caused by this solenoid just being shorted or cut open electrically, so that solenoid's bad. However, that solenoid was crazy expensive, over $200 for a simple vacuum solenoid. You gotta love Nissan. So that's where we're at now. The customer also wants me to get the AC working again, so I'm holding it under vacuum while I'm doing all this other work. I'll fill it up. But anyway, in order to get the EGR valve off, I felt it was a lot easier to take the throttle body off, and then you have a couple of water coolant hoses that help cool the EGR valve, and so it's right down in there. By the way, this big EGR tube nut that is down there, that was insanely tight. I had to use an impact chisel to vibrate it loose, and once I was able to get it half a turn loose, I was able to turn it by hand, but it was on crazy tight, and the size, I believe, is like 28 millimeter. Anywhere it's over 24. It was a little bit smaller than 1 1/4 inches and a little bit bigger than 1 1/8 inches. So however you want to look at that, that's the size of that nut. All right, so we are done here. Another installment to Steve's Auto Care. Sorry this is all handheld and after the fact you don't get to see me actually doing the work, but that little piece caused the check engine light to come on. All right, thanks for watching.